Hello, I'm Neil Quigley. Welcome to my podcast. Labour are promising a Robin Hood-style tax on the rich. I'm not saying Corbyn is old-fashioned, but I think he will use men on horses to collect that extra money. I do feel a bit sorry for Tim Farron. In a world that seems so split and divided by opinions and righteousness, it's really not the ideal time to be liberal, is it? Boris Johnson, the man with an apology for every occasion because, well, he has to have one because he will need them. I believe foot and mouth disease in animals was actually named after him. UKIP leader Paul Nuttall had to postpone a day's campaigning after damage to the party bus. I thought the wheels must have fallen off, but apparently it was only a broken right-wing mirror. I'm not saying I'm concerned about Theresa May, but at that Tory manifesto launch, I'm sure her shadow on that very well-lit stage was moving independently. It would seem the Tories aim to cure the problem of our ageing population by doing away with the winter fuel allowance. I must admit I had forgotten that before the election the two top jobs in government were taken by May and Hammond, which out of the three car-based presenters that has to be the best option. Having Clarkson in charge would be like Nigel Farage running the country. So this week we had the first live leaders debate on ITV without the leaders of the two main parties. I mean, that is like when we had the X Factor without Simon Cowell. Axing free school meals is a disgrace, says Jamie Oliver, the man who charges over a tenner for an elaborate cheese on toast dish. The NHS was hit by a big cyber attack as the health service computer system was brought down by a virus thanks to the government not injecting enough money into their IT systems. Donald Trump claims he is the victim of a witch hunt, which is a bit rich, pun intended, from the man who demanded to see Obama's birth certificate while not revealing his tax returns and spent an entire election campaign calling his rival a crook. If you can't stand the heat, stay away from the cauldron. Why are we surprised that the man who gave us those amazing pulling tips at a secret locker room banter recording may have gave away some security information during some banter over drinks with the Russians? I wonder if Trump will start to believe in climate change now his term as president is starting to heat up and is in danger of melting. Not sure what the fuss is over Trump sharing information with the Russians. They're all reading our emails anyway. In light of all these recent cyber computer attacks, it appears that we may be heading towards living in the Matrix. Therefore, I've taken to wearing a big leather jacket and fighting in slow motion just to protect myself. In the next few weeks, we are really going to see if Donald Trump knows the art of the deal. As the new president Macron promises a French renaissance, I'm pretty sure this has already happened and was quite well documented. Pupils at a school in the Midlands threw food at Ofsted inspectors, showing clearly that the place is falling way behind modern standards. I mean, it sounds like they're St. Trinians. Bomb disposal experts carried out a controlled explosion on a World War II bomb in Birmingham as they were worried that if it went off on its own, it could have caused millions of pounds worth of improvements. As IKEA announces plans to open 3 new stores in England over the next 2 years, divorce lawyers in those places look forward to an increased workload as couples fall out over soft furnishings and storm off for meatballs. There's real concern in Northern Australia as teenagers are taking to sniffing aviation fuel in an attempt to get high. Kelvin Mackenzie has left the Sun via mutual consent, with the whole country agreeing that he had to go. Portugal won the Eurovision Song Contest. The trophy they won weirdly looks more like Ronaldo than that statue at Madeira Airport does. The commentators were celebrated after Portugal's Eurovision win, as it means they can finally go somewhere hot with beaches for next year's event. The staging of some of the acts at Eurovision makes the stuff on Britain's Got Talent look sane and routine. Miley Cyrus has said in an interview that she will never live down that naked pop video she did for her hit song Wrecking Ball. Personally, I thought it was smashing. As hackers threaten to release the new Pirates of the Caribbean film, we can at least all marvel at the irony of them picking this movie. All shot mannequins have been branded medically unhealthy. I would go even further and say that they are actually technically dead, in fact. They've made a new sex doll in America that you can have a conversation with. If you're buying one of these for a chat, I think you're missing the point a bit. A man has set up his own dating app where he's the only male on it and called it Shinder. I can't work out if this is the work of an evil genius or just a man trying to find a life partner. Tinder are not happy with the name he's chosen, but as he can only offer one date at a time, he's hardly competition. And the fact he's had to set up his own site suggests he does not fare that well when there's competition anyway. Maria Sharapova will have to try and qualify for Wimbledon after her drugs ban, so we'll have to wait and see how she does on the grass. That's all for this week. See you next week.